your secretary.
Secretary. That's a new name. Karen's our handler, and you're the secretary. Okay, let's try this. We are over in the new shop. We're trying our live here just to see how our internet connection is. So we'll wait for a couple of people to get on and say hi. I was supposed to be on at 2, so I'm a little bit late. Let's see. Okay, we got somebody. All right. We got 2. Does somebody want to say hi just so I can see if the comments are going to work over here? We're in the new shop today. We're just wondering if we can do our lives here based on the internet or if I have to upgrade my internet before our live shows. So if somebody can say hi. There's Peggy Abbott. Okay, Peggy. All right, Peggy's there. That's all that matters, right, Peggy? Okay, so we're going to just go over a couple of items that people might not be aware of because we do have a lot of new people, but we're also going to tell you about our upcoming contest that we have going on. It's not, well, I guess it is a contest, but it's a challenge. We see, we've had a few people, new people this week that thought they had ordered something and they didn't get thumbs up from us. So when we went to package the orders, it wasn't on their invoice. If you guys don't hear anything back from us or get a thumbs up, and in some cases it's just the letter K because my thumbs up has disappeared on my iPad. If you don't get some type of response from us, please give our shop a call to place your order or send us another message and maybe Facebook will show us that message. Facebook has a way of not showing all messages and we try to get back and check them, but when the shop gets busy, then sometimes that doesn't happen. When the shop gets busy, made me realize that we've got exciting news. We have a new staff member here. So we have a new staff that is working on the weekends with us. Through the week we have 3 people, and I don't know what made me think we could do the weekend with 2 people. So anyway, we have a new staff member. If you want to find out and meet her, come on in and check out on the weekend, and you'll be pleasantly surprised, I'm sure. Let me see. Some people are getting an invoice and the very first line says 1 cent. And it's confusing people. And I just want to explain to you why you do that. So if you have an order here and you're holding it over for a week and we're not shipping it to you, we have to open a new invoice so that when you place your second order, they know to go in the closet and look for your first order. So if there is a 1 cent on your order, that means you've ordered from a previous week, and that tells Wally and John to, hey, go look in the closet because Peggy Abbott has ordered something, and so she's got a second bag in there somewhere. So that 1 cent really doesn't affect anything because we all know we don't pay for pennies, but it just alerts the guys to know to go look for a second bag. So a few people have been questioning that. Peggy, can you tell me if there's anybody else that's commented besides you? Because so far, oh, there's Sandy, okay. I wondered if the messages were coming through. There they come. Hi, Joe. Hi, Marianne. These are just coming through now. So that explains why you have a 1 cent on your invoice sometimes. Jackie, can you remember anything else that we need to tell people about?
I'm not sure what's on your list there.
Well, I said no thumbs up call. Sometimes the internet isn't always favorable. So if there's a fabric you really want, make sure you place the order before we go live, because the order of names that I see them isn't the order of names that you're seeing them from home. So sometimes it gets a little confusing and people think that they should have got something, in fact, that they didn't get anything. We try to read the names off to those that got the item, but sometimes stuff happens and we don't always get them read off.
I've been doing a new thing this week. So Canada Post, when we do Canada Post, it comes in batches of 10 before we actually print them off. So those batches, my file name is batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, whatever it is. So that it tells me that if you have a problem with your parcel, that I can go to batch 1 and find out what
your
the tracking number is on it. So it just, instead of me copying and pasting all the tracking numbers, it just tells me where to go to find it.
If it's been shipped with Campar, FedEx, or UPS, you might get an invoice. Then later on you'll get a second invoice and you're thinking, why did they send me 2 invoices? If you look on the bottom line of your second invoice, that will have a tracking number for Campar and Freightcom and all of those people. Another thing, if you call and pay with your Visa, our system is supposed to send you an invoice saying that it is paid. So if you have paid over the phone with Visa and you don't get that invoice directly after the phone call, give us a call back and say, hey, it didn't clear on the system. That will prevent anybody from getting a reminder that has already paid. Sometimes there's a couple of little glitches in the system and they don't get marked as paid. So you should always receive an invoice saying that it's paid after you've paid with Visa. So it's just a check mark before you get a reminder by mistake. So we apologize for those reminders. Anything else?
That's it. I think of.
So the main reason I brought Jackie over here is because we're starting this new program and she knows nothing about it. And so I thought if I'm explaining it and it's confusing to her, maybe it's confusing to you, and maybe she can ask questions and clarifications, and we can make this a fun, not safe, but it's fun, fun challenge. Okay. So a customer was in the store this weekend and told me about their guild, what they're doing. They had to find a magazine, and somebody in the guild picked a number, and they all turned to that page on the magazine, and they had to make a quilt inspired by whatever they read somewhere on that page. And I thought, that's pretty cool, that's pretty fun. I think we should do that. So we said, can we steal your idea? And she said, sure, go ahead. So that's what we're doing. So, heads up, we are going to start this. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna run for probably 2 or 3 months. I will set the dates. But what you have to do is send me a picture of the magazine that you are going to risk being involved with. So if I was to say page 34 and you opened up a magazine and says, oh, there's nothing on that 34, I don't want to do that one, you can't do that. You have to pick a magazine before I give you the number and stick to it. Regardless of what is on the page, you have to do something inspired by that page. So there's going to be a date where you get to post your project. It doesn't have to be a quilt. It just has to be a quilting related item based on that page. So we're going to be giving away 2 free quilting services with this contest. And there is also going to be, the fee to join is going to be the fact that you have to purchase a fabric bundle, and that fabric has to be included into it somewhere, which could make it a lot more difficult if you opened up the magazine and it was about, I don't know, tools, and I gave you pink fabric, for example. Anyway, I don't know. I don't have my fabric line picked out. It will only be a $17 bundle of fabric, so it's not going to be too expensive to enjoy or to participate. And then we're going to have a Viewer's Choice Award, whoever gets the most likes, but we're also going to have a Staff Choice Award. So most times the Staff Choice Award is probably going to be maybe the funniest, the most unique, the most creative. It might not be the most likes. It's just going to be something, wow, she thought outside of the box, she deserves a prize type thing. So there's going to be 2 free quiltings given away. So as many people that want to join, they can join. If you want more than 1 bundle because you think your project's going to need more than 1 bundle of fabric, you can order more than 1 bundle of fabric. Keep in mind, everybody's bundle of fabric may not be the same color. I'm going to try to have it that way, but if we have somebody like Peggy Abbott, you're the first number there, her name there, I'm going to pick on you. If Peggy Abbott says, I got a project that I want to do, but I want to have 4 bundles, we could run out of those bundles, which is fine. To be honest, this is all about sales because we are a business, so the more sales, the better. So we're going to do it so that it doesn't have to be the same color. So Jackie, do you have any questions?
I don't know. I think this sounds pretty clear to me.
Does it?
So you're going to pick, okay, just to clarify here, you are going to pick what, how are you going to do, what are you going to say about that page, that magazine?
Anything.
Anything, like such
Anything.
as what, like
Okay, so for example, this is what happened in our shop. The lady said she picked a page and it was about erectile deficit. Okay, so I'm just saying, this is what she said. Anyway, and Stacy pipes up and said, well, that would be an easy one. And she looked at him and he said, I would just make a flimsy of any sort. So it just has to be that theme. If it's cars, you could make a quilt with roads or something with cars. Or if it's something flowery, anything that's flowery. The last comment I'm seeing is Lynn Noggle, so I'm not sure if anybody else has any questions about this. But we're hoping people enjoy. Oh, so here they come in here. Shirley says it's exciting, sounds great. So if you want to participate, the only way you can start to participate is to send us a picture of a random magazine. Now it doesn't have to be a quilting magazine, it can be any magazine. It might be easier if it was a quilting magazine, but it doesn't have to be. So anything else, Jackie?
I don't think so. I'm pretty clear now.
Pretty clear now. Okay, so just write some of these dates down. We are in June. By July the 10th, I need to have all the pictures of the magazines in, of people that are participating. So July the 10th, once I get pictures of all the magazines and know how many are participating, then I will pick a random number, okay? Then that random number, you don't have to show me that page until you send your entry in. Once you send your entry in, you have to send a screenshot of the magazine to connect them so that we know that that was the whole thought process of your project.
Okay.
So June the 5th, what did I say?
10th.
July the 10th, you need to send me a picture of your magazine. And you can send me a picture of the magazine now. If you have one that you want and you know that you're going to use, send it now, be done with it. The only time I'm going to check on the magazine is when the entries start coming in. Is that clear, Jackie?
I think so. So when entries start coming in,
We need to have the photo of the magazine and the project.
photo and project.
And the more the merrier. I think I'm looking for a really fun, different type of entry.
Okay. I think we're good.
Right. If it's a quilting magazine, does it have to be that quilt pattern? Not at all. When you look at that quilt pattern, Susan, that might inspire you to do a different total quilt. If it's flowers in that quilt pattern and you want to just do anything flower, it just has to connect to that quilt page. If there's flying geese on that page and you want to do a whole quilt flying geese, but be creative, try to do something different because of that's who's going to win that second quilting, because we're going to look for something creative. Can it be a book? Shelley Carroll says it has to be a magazine, because we're going to just stick to that rule. Post this video to your YT.
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. Might get a few more people from there too. That's a good idea. I'll get Twyla to do that. Okay. Every time I swipe, we see a couple more messages come up. We'll just see if there's any. How much fabric will be in the bundles? What is in my head right now? I'm thinking there's going to be 4 pieces of 1/4 meter pieces, and it will be a meter total, so it will be $17. So if it ends up being an advertising page of different products, yes, you just have to pick one thing off that page. You don't have to involve the whole page. You just have to pick a random thing on that page. So the fabric bundles, if it doesn't contain 4 pieces, it will contain a full meter. So if I decide to make it into 6-inch strips or whatever, I've got to get my fabric ready. So on July the 10th, when the magazines are due, I will have the fabric that day, and you can purchase a bundle. Let's swipe that again, see if there's any new messages. So we do have good internet. Nobody has broken it up at home, like everybody's getting good visual here. Yes, oh yes. I expect you to add any amount of fabric to that bundle that you want. So that 1 meter fabric can turn into a queen size quilt. You just have to incorporate that 1 meter. It can be made into a bag. You can just use that meter if you want to make a placemat, whatever. So, because I mean, let's face it, if it's something that you have if you go to that page and it's like, I would never use a quilt made with that theme. You don't want to make a quilt with that theme because it's not your theme. Then just make a placemat that's really creative and different and try to win by being unique. And don't want you to waste all kinds of fabric on a project that you might not win with. So just wait till you get your page number and then get inspired by whatever you see. Any project, any size project. But swipe it, maybe some more will come up every time I swipe.
So will you explain this in a little blurb on your, or is this going to be it?
This is going to be it. If people want to join, I'm going to tell them to go to this video.
Okay.
Shirley says this is good visual. So this is where we're going to be doing our sew-alongs with Twyla from now on. Wally hasn't got our table made yet for our complete setup, but we will be over here for our videos. Pretty soon, I'm going to give you all a heads up that we are going to YouTube to do our sew-along videos. So we do have a YouTube page. So go to our YouTube page, find it so that when we go there, you'll know how to get there easily. But we are trying to increase our YouTube presence.
So you need to subscribe?
I don't know.
Usually I think that's how it works, I think.
Yeah, subscribe to my page.
Yeah.
Yeah, click subscribe or like or follow, whatever the key may be.
Yeah, subscribe.
And yeah, we're gonna go to YouTube for our sew-alongs. That way we don't have to worry because they disappear on our Facebook page. So once we do them there, they're there forever. They will never disappear. Okay, so Shirley says we have a good visual here, and I'm not seeing any more questions. So instead of making this a great big long out video, yes, Sherry, it will be the same page number for everybody. It's hard to hear Jackie. She's soft-spoken.
Oh, I'm just trying to...
She's trying to take notes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Darlene said you do have to subscribe. And it will be the same number. And it can't be a high number because some people's magazines are thinner than others. Okay, that's it, I think. The only thing I have to... Yep. I have to keep scrolling back and forth to get my messages to update. So hopefully I've gotten everybody's message. If you have any questions, just private message, and now Jackie knows it all, so she can answer. There was a method to me bringing you over here.
I'm going home soon.
Okay, that's it for this afternoon, everybody. I hope to see lots of people participating, but then if not a lot of people participate, then 2 people are going to win free. Your odds are better for winning 2 free quilting services. So when I speak about quilting services, I was behind, I'm still behind, but the older ones are done. And so we are getting a lot out this weekend. So I'm gonna get to you as quickly as I can. Bye everybody.
Have a good week.